Hello, good evening, everyone. Uh, Welcome to PhD 101 Rendezvous session series today. I see a lot of newcomers here on session. A big shout out to everybody who's joined us here on Sunday evening. I welcome you all on board to PhD 101 Rendezvous session. Now, we will be having our guest join us in a bit, Dr. Vyakhya Gupta, as most of you are aware of. Before I get into the details for the evening and what we shall be chatting, let me just give you a run up on the format of the session. Now, to begin with, I think hello everyone, and this is around the festive corner. I think most of you are all planning, on visiting places. Of course, with given the COVID protocols, please make sure that all of you are safe, and all of you, in case some of you have not been vaccinated, please go ahead and do that. I'm your host, Dr. Denzi Lawrence. Today, will be hosting the session with Dr. Vyakhya Gupta. And we at Public Health Dentistry 101 is basically an organization, a national level online learning platform, which was a result of the COVID pandemic. So we teach and engage students in the field of public health dentistry across the country. And we do also conduct various intensive programs for the postgraduates and learning assistants. Apart from the weekly academic schedules, on Sundays like these, we host and interview personalities, that is, people from our dental fraternity, be it students or people who are teachers and any practitioners, all of them who, apart from their dentistry skills or the practice of dentistry, we go a little bit more and try to explore what actually makes them the personalities that they are. A lot goes into how we develop our skills, and as all of you are aware of, we notice that it's not just the science what we read and practice is responsible for what we are, but very much in terms of our hobbies, our passions, and so much more actually lies behind forming who we are and essentially how we practice. So rendezvous sessions started off this year from January onwards, and we're really happy that we've been able to host many fantastic, talented people from our own fraternity, be it filmmakers, musicians, people who are working on novel technologies and building applications. All of these things which really make us dental professionals very proud and something to be very very happy about. So in that direction, today we have with us Dr. Vyakhya Gupta. For the ones who don't know, just a little bit of introduction about Dr. Vyakhya. Vyakhya is someone who I've discovered recently, and I would not give away too much about it, but as all of you have watched out to the posters, I think people who are interested in some of the above or all of the above will have an amazing time listening to Vyakhya today about her journey on how she discovered herself, her passions, and everything behind what she is right now. Presently, Vyakhya is pursuing a master's in oral maxillofacial surgery at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Patna. We shall be exploring her journey. So quickly, hello there, Vyakhya.
Hi, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes. Your video is a little pixelated. I think it'll settle down with this thing.
Okay, sir.
Okay, great to see you, Vyakhya. So there we are. I think let me just put a word to all the participants here. If time permits towards the end of the session, we'll be really happy to take in your queries and questions or anything you want to find out and know about our speaker, and any specific advice. We should be really happy to assist you in that. So let's just start off the session today, and with a warm welcome to all the participants. I think we have a mixed pack of students here. So as I can see in the participant list here, we have teachers, we have undergraduates, postgraduates. So it's really nice to see. Let's collect some positive energy, and as they say, you invest in human experiences more than anything else, because those are the experiences for life and make us what we are today. And we in the profession of dentistry, we learn the art, the science, the commerce, everything of dentistry. As we break it down, there's a lot of art and craft, and each of you here would be interested in a couple of passions, be it photography, blogging, social media content generation, or even it could be the arts and fine arts, so many things, right? So today, we'll be interviewing a personality who has ventured into these arenas, and she shall be discovering, sharing her experiences from her undergrad days, from Gujarat all the way to Delhi and then now in Patna. So yes, there again, Vyakhya, welcome so much. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
joining us here, and
Thank you so
I think we're good to go. Yes, Vyakhya. So your opening thoughts on the session today.
much. Frankly, there have been many people who've been asking me to do live and things of this sort, but I don't get much time, to be very frank. As I personally know you, and I found it meaningful to interact with the audience. It has been a long time I haven't interacted with the audience, as I don't get the time, as I said. So I made some time for this schedule, and I'm very happy to be here, like talking after so long about the past. So
Nice, Vakya. So, for the audience, I'm just letting everybody know. Yes, Vakya is a very busy postgraduate, and she deals with oral and maxillofacial surgery. So it was very hard to get the time out of her. Must really thank her for taking out time for us. So I think we can start the session, by just running through, the process. So I think, with your permission, Vakya, would you share your presentation? Can you do that?
yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, could you please, sir?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. So Vyakya has decided to tell us the story of her life so far by means of pictures, because a picture speaks 1,000 words for themselves, right?
Yes.
So let's we've put together a little bit about her journey, and let's start things. So Vyakya, yes, I think. How did all this start? I mean, way back at your time at AMC in Gujarat. So, would you like to start off with your beginnings in dentistry?
Yes, sir. If matlab, my story, I feel it's a general normal story, story of a normal girl, but it has turned out to achieve something. So there are people to hear about it. So that makes it a different. I feel maybe there is a lot to come in future. I'm not sure, but I think there should be a lot to come. We can start the story by I joined my AMC Dental College in 2013 batch. I It was my first attempt, and I don't did never wanted to take a drop or something. So I decided whatever I get, I will take. So I took this college, which was in Ahmedabad. So I had to go a few times but I was not a studious or bookish bookworm or kind of thing. So I just used to clear my concepts, and then it was all good to go. So first second year was quite okay, above average, like top five in the class or something, and I was happy about it. I never wanted to be gold or something. Then third year BDS, I suddenly somehow, I don't know, turned out to be a topper in the college. So
That's what
that also.
all toppers say, right? Because somehow you turn out to be a topper. So you're just being modest there. Yes, go on.
So, like it was first time I never felt that feeling which I had that day. So that feeling was very good. Matlab, I cannot express. Nobody can express. The one who has got that feeling might be able to understand. So I was very happy. It was just a small milestone, third year topper in college. Not a big deal, I feel now, but it was the most important milestone, I would say. After that, I wanted to retain that position, and then after I started working for something. So there have had been friends, helpers, supporters. There had been critics who had demoralized, and actually, I would say that more than the support and friends, the critics played a more important role in giving that fire. That now I need to do something. Now I need to show up. So final year, I worked really hard. 8 subjects. Everyone knows how the stress is. 8 subjects, 8 practicals, finding patients, snatching patients, and things like that. I did my best. I tried my best. So my college was under Gujarat University, which had 7 dental colleges, each having like 100 of strength. So basically, 700 students we were competing with. We all had same paper and same exam. So my target was obviously parents would say, anyone used to say that aim high, aim for the best, or aim the highest. Maybe you end up in somewhere in middle. So I aimed for university first rank, which I knew it won't be possible for me, but let's aim for it. So working in the path, taking this thing in mind from day one, clearing concepts and things like that. I did my exams, and when the results came, I turned out to be second in the university, topper in the college, of course, and with distinction. So that was the feeling. Like, I was like, I created the feeling I had in third year, and this was much above that. And once you achieve something, sir, there will be people who will say, okay, my luck, by fluke. So they will always want the third time, but not to prove them. But it is said that sir, गद्दी पे बैठना easy होता है, but to maintain
Exactly.
that गद्दी
बिल्कुल
is
बिल्कुल.
very difficult. So now there was a pressure. Okay, now you have to clear PG and all. I was pretty sure from final year only that I want to do a PG. Ortho or maxillofacial were my priorities. So I started working in that corner. Sir, can you just back the
Yeah.
previous photo, sir?
Yes.
Okay, about this photo, as I said, I was never a bookish or a bookworm kind of person. I used to roam every possible way. I used to go for every possible trips, every possible conference. This was one of the conference in Goa, I remember. And this person in the middle is Dr. Gomes, the one who wrote the book Oral Medicine
Yeah.
and Radiology, that one. So I got to meet him here, and it was a big pleasure to meet him. Of course, it wouldn't have been possible for me to meet him if I would have been an average person, or I would say not me. So I felt ki ha, matlab, getting something gives you the good feeling, gets you in the cream of the crowd. So I always wanted to maintain that. Then I worked, the next photo was like of
Yes.
convocation. um, I completed internship. I did all the musty possible. I studied, not up to the extent, but I obviously internship doesn't come back. So I didn't compromise on that also. I studied whatever I could. On the first trial, I couldn't get a government seat. So I decided to take a drop. Uh, then people were always there to say ki by fluke and things like that. Again, I got the fire from them only.
Yeah. One small thing, Vyakhya.
Yes.
Basically, तुमने अपने अंडर ग्रेजुएशन के प्रोसेस में ना, when you discovered that you could do it, जब तुमने मुकाम हासिल किया था कि एंट्रेंस से पहले यूनिवर्सिटी when you topped, right? So at that point of time, what were your priorities? कि dentistry तो है ही pursue करना and you are like passionate for it. Were there any of the passions which you follow right now? उसके कुछ beginnings college के time पे शुरू हुए थे कि how was it? Like how was the whole process?
Actually, sir, when I was in final internship, I had friends from other field who were
अच्छा.
doing fashion blogging, food blogging, and things like that. So that used to attract me. Ke, oh, this is so nice, gloomy, and but I am in such a field, boring field, that all this is not possible. So that was a perception. But then when I stopped my final year university, juniors and from other colleges, other people started approaching, like, how did you prepare, what did you special do, and things like that. I also had seniors who guided me, teachers, parents, of course. So I felt कि हाँ, there is a lack of guidance in the BDS duration. Of course, in PG preparation, there are a lot of guidances available. But for this passing the prof exams, like first, second, third final, there is some lack of guidance. Maybe people are not much passionate, or not much eager to achieve something first rank and all. Maybe that's why there is no demand, so there is no supply, I feel. But there were people who always wanted to get guidance. So that was the point. I decided, okay, I will be always available for help, because if you achieve something, you should pass it on to others.
Exactly. In fact, for people, just want to put it across, Vyakhya also does her vlogs on YouTube, and she gives like very important advice on, for example, how to crack your JR-ship exams and professional development, all of these things. So I think ये जो तुमने बात कही ना कि you need to share what you have is very pertinent. So
Yes, sir.
along that, it sort of helps us groom better as a person. It refines us and makes us focus on things with more utility. In terms of you get more clarity with whatever, like even you're picking up any department or any specialty and various aspects of life. All right, great. Okay, so I have a couple of more pictures and any stories related. Yes. Yeah.
So then, sir, I decided in during internship only that I would help as many as people, at least who would seek me for help. Then, over the period of time, talking to different people who attained something, who achieved something, I got to know that the world is not small. Like we all are confined to our college, our state, but I got to know that it's much bigger than that. So I decided that I wouldn't be taking state college. I would like to get out and know more or get better. So I aimed for central institutes and other state colleges like KGMC, GDC, Mumbai, and all. So that was my aim during that time. So I learned a lot of things, that how to study, how stupid I was in internship, that I didn't even know this is to be done. And then I felt ki, yes, nobody knows. Many people doesn't know. I should throw some light to them. So at that point, I decided that I will start something on Insta, because Insta was the best platform at that time. But only when I attain something.
Hmm.
So I gave my first trial. As I said, I couldn't clear. Then that was December, January time, and then the next exam would come in May, PGI and JIPMAR and AIMS. In all the three exams, I was like borderline, but not selected. So I had a hope that I may do it. Meanwhile, there were many phases of depression, anxiety, and things like that.
Hmm.
That why am I in this field? Uh, why I would have pursued MPH,
Hmm.
this Master of Public Health, which was upcoming during that time. Then MBA, or maybe I should go out of country like many other friends of mine. So there were so multiple of thoughts. Okay,
Or
I was
maybe they would have pushed you for marriage also, right?
that was not in my list.
No, it was not a list, but that's the pressure people face, right? So
Yes.
existential issues, absolutely right. Post PDS, yes. Hmm.
So I started rethinking on my decision of doing PG.
Hmm.
Then I thought, okay, I'll give just one try, and then we'll see what shall happen. Maybe I would have selected something else. So meanwhile, there came this Maulana Azad Institute of Dental
Hmm.
Sciences, which is considered to be the number one in India dental college, first best dental college in India. So I decided to give that exam. There were many thoughts during this, that if you take up a non-acad JRship, you won't be able to prepare for PG. Of course, you will spare the time in this, and the main aim is PG. This is like just a bubble which will come and go, burst away in 1 year. There were many things, but because I was very clumsy in my decision of doing PG or continuing with dentistry or maybe something else, so I decided to take up this exam. At least let's give, and let's test ourselves, that where do I stand, or do I even deserve to be in dentistry, or do dentistry deserves me. So this was the mindset when I went and gave this exam. So this exam was in Delhi, offline. I think in, I don't actually remember, but it was June, July, summertime
Okay.
only.
Hmm.
After AIMS and PGI result, I gave this exam. The result comes on the same day, so that was the best thing I feel. The evening I was sitting, and the result came. So it was like written exam and interview both will happen. Written exam is just a screening exam to select a few people for interview, and the main selection basis is interview. So I was like, I should be screened at least, if even if I'm last, but I should be screened. So I started looking from below, and I was like, where is my roll number? And I was like so shocked, and like, oh my god, I'm on the first. Is this like roll number wise, or is this name wise, or is this rank wise? Then I shuffled everything in, and then I like finally convinced myself, "Nee, nee, yes, you cleared this exam with rank one." And as I told you, sir, this was a deciding exam for me. Okay, will I continue with dentistry or not? So that it was like clear cut that yes, I should continue with this.
So this
So
was like, sorry, was your point of transformation, you would say, completely into that field of dentistry. That's how you would see it.
uh, sir, I didn't get it.
No, no, I was referring that when you got into maids, right, something which was completely unbelievable, that sort of made your presence in dentistry like, okay, ab yahi karna, you sort of like made up your mind,
Yes,
and that's how you got it back. Okay.
yes, yes. So after giving interview also, I got the first rank.
Hmm.
So that was like clear cut that I should continue with dentistry, and there was no other thought in my mind. I went and took up the chance. Uh, there also, so many people ask me, okay, if you continue with this JR-ship, you will spend at least 9 to 5. At least this much time will be going in this place. So how will you study? Exam is coming up. Then there, I also thought, okay, should I leave it after few months and things like that. But then I thought, okay, opportunities doesn't come again and again in life, and what is already in my hand, I shouldn't leave that for a possibility of getting something better in future. So I continued with it. Meanwhile, I got AIMS Delhi also JRship, but I had already joined this, and that was 6 months only. This was 1 year, so I continued with this. Um, this place has taught me a lot, has made me a very different person. Uh, I have learned professionalism here. I have learned confidence here. Like, I cannot explain and express myself that how this place has changed me. But yes, this place holds a very special place and special part in my life. And it used to be hectic in the beginning, like till 8 o'clock, sometimes night duties once or twice in a month. But studies were a little difficult, no doubt. So I gave NEET, which again didn't turn out to be great. I was getting some government college in my state, but not the clinical branch. And as I already had decided that I will not take up state seat, so I didn't even feel the counseling, because if I get in the counseling, my parents will be like, take it. So I just didn't feel it only. So I was pretty sure, Kenny, I want central only. If I have come here till Maulana Azad, then I will step
Exactly.
up the ladder. I won't go behind.
Hmm.
So people many times ask me that what inspires you and what motivates you. So I always say that myself I myself motivate myself. My past inspires me, that if I could clear third year topper, I can become a final year topper, I can get Maulana Azad, then why can't I do something better?
Hmm.
So
Absolutely
I feel
true.
anybody can do anything. They are just a one decision away, one decision and the hard work which it is required to get that.
Hmm.
So
So the time
I
at Maids, I think, was truly phenomenal for you in terms of the work experience, because working, I mean, achieving something which you had not even imagined, and
yes,
studying at India's best dental institute, right? So from there onwards, I think, how interesting was your workflow? Anything like, because your tendencies, I mean, you were inclined towards surgery, right? A lot of that.
after sir
Uh,
joining Maulana Azad, I was initially in oral medicine department, this diagnosis part. So whatever pictures and whatever rare diseases we used to see in the books, Sheffers and this Gomes and all, that I live saw there. And
Mhm.
that I found कि अच्छा मतलब I used to see what can be the special in this college, that it is called like number one best college. Is it just because it is in Delhi, or is it just because it is so big and infrastructure? But no, it had like best faculties in the country. It had a best patient flow. The patients who would not be treated or who would be declined the treatment from various places like private college or private dental this clinics or even some government colleges would be accepted there and treated there. So I got to see rare of the rarest cases there, like rare syndromes. Then there are this is the time when I started my blog, and initially I used to give these cases. They are still there in my story highlights
Yeah,
if
I was
anyone
coming to
would like to
that.
see. So
Because you've put up all these interesting cases, right? So yeah.
because as I said, sir, what I see, what is new for me is new for my juniors and the people who are back there. So I would like them also to experience what I am experiencing. So maybe not directly, indirectly, I made sure that they could also see these cases, or they can also understand that dentistry is vast. It is not so bad, or it is not only RCT.
Hmm.
So तो क्या फिर हाँ फिर I was in surgery. Maxillofacial surgery was always in the corner of my heart. So when I was posted there, uh, I got so much of exposure, like extractions, aid, impactions, IMFs, and seeing the casualties, trauma cases. So not maybe I was not a PG student there, so I didn't get a chance to learn directly, but at least I was exposed to so much that okay ऐसा भी होता है. And
Hmm.
जो बुक में लिखा है ओरोएंट्रो फिस्टुला communication buccal fat pad flap and this OSMF nasolabial, this actually happens. I was like okay, I used to think कि ऐसे ही मतलब बुक में लिख दिया है. Like, no, this happens.
For
All
real,
the
for
things
real.
written in book, they happen exactly the way it is written.
हाँ.
So I got to know कि नहीं ये तो है, dentistry is like vast and I should continue. After like February 2020, Corona started coming.
Hmm.
So we yeah in Maulana Azhar I got to attend very great conferences and workshops also, as I was a part there. Sometimes volunteer, sometimes a part. So this was one of the conferences that was held in Feb only.
Yeah.
This triple O, like it was on
Triple
oral
O,
cancer.
Simpros.
Triple O means this oral surgery, OMR, and
Opath. Opath.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. OPATH, right, sir.
Opath. Yeah.
So various other bijaw surgeries, orthognathic surgeries, these kind of workshops used to happen there. I used to attend them. So that all made me more keen and more desire to get into oral maxillofacial surgery. So I worked accordingly. I was not getting time, to be very frank, but I thought कि इधर तक आए हैं तो आगे भी जाएंगे somehow. So
Hmm.
February, the Corona started, and OPD closed, and it was like alternate. You can come and some two once in 2 days and things like that. We used to compensate for each other's work. So used to get time one day to study and then one day for duty. And sir, as we all know, COVID time was torturous, not only physically but more mentally to especially the healthcare workers. Being a dental student or dental a dentist, people think that तुम लोग क्या करते हो कोरोना में. But we also gave our part, like we were in the sampling team. This is one of the photos. There was a sampling area, sample collection area, where we used to take nasal and this oral swab and all. So it was like initially it was all horror na ke COVID, PP, summer. So 6 and 7 hours in the PP, it's all sweating inside. The whole scrub is sweated, but it was worth it. Maybe that was also to be experienced.
Hmm.
So in the sampling area, and during that time also emergency wasn't closed. Maids never closed emergency. They used to take up all emergency cases, be it extraction or RCT, with PPE, considering the patient to be positive, but we used to treat. This is one of the photo. I was doing extraction, and the second photo I was so exhausted. I was telling my SR, please let me doff off, and she was like, "Nee, 1 more hour, maybe some patient comes." So this is all a mixed feeling, I would say. One day of hectic duty and then one day of off. It was कभी खुशी कभी गम वाला था. uh, this was some endodontics only. Next sir.
Yeah. Hmm.
फिर yeah, that time it was more of like take care of your health,
Hmm.
folic acid, vitamin C and all. So studying, doing this duty and taking care of yourself. So I had to balance. I had very good friends there who supported and who also used to be a part of the schedule, I said. So we used to be like together studying, or roaming around was not an option that time. Everything was closed. So, sir, this is I had a friend, Dr. Abhishek. He was
Hmm.
one of my very close friend. We used to study together.
Oh.
After PJ exam, he went to home. He had cold, cough, and all. He went home and he had symptoms of COVID, I would say. I told him several times to get tested, but he was neglecting and all. He said, "No, it's normal flu. It will go away." Things like that. And it was a very sudden news that he passed away. He was just 26, and the person who was just sitting with you the whole 1 and 2 months, studying with you, motivated you, you helped him, he helped you, and kind of a study partner. And this happens with a person. He also got 21 all India rank in the AIMS exam, the
Hmm.
same AIMS exam when I got 18. So it was a very sad news. And
Indeed,
Many
Vyakhya. I
days.
think I mean, just to bring in this, I think a lot of uh, pain and suffering has been endured, especially by all the health workers. People really look at the other side, but again, to share a loss, I think heart really goes out to everybody who've lost their near ones and dear ones in this pandemic, especially the ones who are at the front line, working and combating this. So I think their sacrifices should remember for times to come. Yeah.
So this was
Hmm.
this was like, sir, studying. This picture shows how the life was.
Hmm.
Studying, suddenly sleeping, coming back, seeing the nightmare. As CD's Rasan sir used to say, ke, keep studying, always keep it in mind, and used to motivate so much that even if I used to sleep or take a nap, that dream will be coming that exam is going on. You missed this particular topic, and you need to read this. And suddenly I would wake up and open some page of the book, and then I would write on the board that I need to read this. And it was, of course, anyone who will be in a preparation phase would know how it feels, especially in the last few months. So it was May, exam was planned, AIMS exam, and February, March, April, some relaxation I got from the JRship, that I got a time to study, which is very fortune. I feel miraculous for me that I got some time. This used to be my desk in the Central Library of MAMC. MAMC Central Library is very well known. So many of brilliant students have been from there. I have seen people studying 24 hours, sitting in the same place, just taking coffee and tea. And those people have inspired me somehow. Not, I may not know them, I may not know what he's studying or what she's studying, but seeing them start sitting straight in that chair like for hours and hours, I used to feel, if that he can sit, if she can sit, then why I can't sit? So so all this motivated me. I used to be very notorious, I cannot sit at one place straight, but there I learned to sit and study. The maximum I had studied in one day was 17 hours. That was also very tough. Not so much I would go for, but I would suggest people, those who are sincerely preparing, like last 2-3 months, it has to be 14 to 15 hours. And I am not saying it has to be quantitatively like 14 to 15 hours, but what happens is when you sit at a place, at such a place which has such an environment, you are not ought to do anything else. Maybe one day, 2 day, you will do something, you will be like, kahan aa gaye, kyun aa gaye, let's go out, something like that. But once 3 to 4 days that barrier is crossed, and once you learn how to sit, you are not ought to do anything. You will study, you will open book. If you don't read this book, you may read that book, and automatically things will fall into place, that what should be read. And automatically you will try to find out what is important. You will try to find out from friends, or from your coaching, or from wherever you can. So you will turn out to give your best. And I was at the best place, I would say, for studying. The library was 24 hours open with AC. So what else would I want? I had all books and all facility, food, bus sab tha. I studied the best I could. And AIMS में I got all India rank 18. Again, that was a shocker. तो as I said, sir, अब तो थोड़ी सी kind of आदत हो गई थी to be remain in the cream. So it was very not so difficult to digest ki yes, I scored this. And this was the central library of Mamsi from outside. And this the statue of two people reading some book. So this was after I got my results. I decided to see what that guy is reading. This, I think it was Bible or something. Just a notorious photo. uh,
Okay.
uh,
So I think your preparation days, balancing between duties and at mates, and everything revolved to the library and onwards and backwards. I think it must have been very difficult to sustain yourself through that, right? In terms that I need to keep going. You did have a goal that yes, I will not settle for anything less. So I think that was the major focus factor on that, right?
yes,
So
sir.
I think then the moment arrived, and I think I'm just going to go to that slide and go to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Okay, so What are your thoughts on that? Like, when it actually happened.
When it actually happened, sir, I always wanted maxillofacial surgery, and but the aim was AIMS Delhi, of course. But I turned out to get this. Initially, there were thoughts like, at least I got my branch. People would say, at least you got your branch. This is also so good. But I never wanted to go to Patna,
Hmm.
being a stereotype in Bihar and I being from Gujarat, still in Delhi, I was like, Patna, how the things would be. They would be different, of course. The lifestyle will change. But I entered because I had my branch. Then it turned out to be good. Maybe I'm learning so much of life lessons here that I wouldn't have been able to learn at other place. So initially when we joined, it was COVID and everything was closed. So it used to be only sampling COVID duties and seminar. As we can see, it was, but at least they had AC. So that was, now I was habitual to PP and COVID and duties, so this was not a big thing. We used to get few days of duty, few days of quarantine, and things were difficult. A new place, you don't know anyone, no friends who to talk up. So there were phases, but it was okay. That in that also there were things to learn. This is the AIMS OPD entrance.
So I think juggling between duties and, like you said, I have a picture of you working on the seminar here. So welcome to postgraduate life, and
Yes,
all of
yes,
these. Now, students generally, for all the students watching this as well, there is a huge change from undergraduation to post graduation, right?
yes,
You are somehow expected to shoulder so much responsibility. I would say, in to use a metaphor, you're at the bottom of the food chain, right? So everybody would be expecting you to have superhuman qualities and duties, and by the end of the day, morning, you're expected to be ready with your seminars and all these things. So how was it handling the stress there? I mean, right now you are through PG. How was it balancing all these
UG
things?
life is very different from UG life, I would say. UG, we had a batch of 100. First of all,
Hmm.
the biggest difference is we had a batch of 100. A single teacher had 100 people to focus on, so the one person can escape. Now there are only 2 to 3 people. So that person has only the eye on that 2 to 3 people. There is no scope of escape. If your faculty or someone has told you, okay, you come and read this tomorrow, or you come and read this tomorrow, it may skip your mind, or you may not get time to, but he will not forget. And then next time when he asks you, did you read? And if you're like, no, then it's a big insult. But this the same thing would have been happened in UG. It would have been okay, and friends would have been chalta hai wala. So there is a lot of difference. Yes, responsibility, as you said, sir. Maxillofacial has a patient responsibility. Bottom of the food chain, कुछ गलत हो गया तो तुम नहीं कर दिया.
Hmm. Nice, nice.
So
Okay.
as long,
All right. Yes. So I think that has taught a lot for you. You're already like in your second year PG, right? Now,
yes, yes.
all right. So things must be piling up, and dissertation thesis for your and all of that duties will be doing. Now, coming on to your other passions, Vyakhya, like we've had a run through of everything, dentistry, preparation, and examinations. How was the rest of your life doing? Your blogs and content creation. What were the topics which made you like pick up and write and sustain throughout the process?
Sir, I made the blog just for spreading information or spreading knowledge about dentistry that is not so small. It turned out to be this vast. I never thought it will be. So now there are expectations from the audience from my side, and when I was in Delhi or Mates, I used to get time to share things. But when I came here, I actually don't get time. I Many of the times I just forget to click, and even if I get clicked or I click something good, I forget to post. And there are so many pending photos or things in my gallery that if I see like 1 month back a photo, I'm like, what was this? I don't even now remember to put it on the status or something. And more than that, I don't have time to reply to the DMs, so that I feel bad. Okay, I'm not able to take time, so that's why I stopped posting. Now recently I started taking some time. I will get back slowly.
Mm. So, guys,
You can.
I think, yeah, I was just sharing. You can see my screen, right? But yeah, I think
Yes, yes.
so. For all of you out there, right? If you're thinking it's all work, 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 we do have a lot of talent behind the blogger dentist here. So, Vyakhya, I mean, looking at your profile, right? I mean, this was really curious. There's a lot of oral surgery there, and case experiences, and case files, and case reports. One thing is very evident. Whatever you've been doing with a lot of passion. Your days of singing back then, I think. That somehow sustained, and it's a very vivid way of depicting. So that's really something which students would be really motivated. I mean, being a dentist and being an oral surgeon in the making, having being a social media influencer, right? What were
Hmm.
your takeaways, from the whole experience, of Instagramming and blogging? Of course, you started with the purpose of creating awareness. So how has it been so far in that journey?
It has been wonderful, sir, as it is very evident. I tried making reels also. I
Hmm.
don't know if you went on it. uh, but it is a much more, the reality is much more bigger than this. Uh, of course, people, the viewers might be able to guess it. So preparing one OT takes a lot. Takes a if you miss anything like medical history or anything, or preparing a case, taking it to OT and then taking it to ward and then sending that patient back to home is totally on you. Matlab, I feel so responsible of if suppose one patient is being admitted under my guidance, then I am responsible for his whereabouts during that stay. And after going from here also, he would be calling me. He might feel a personal touch with me. So all that things are very different from a dental life, I would say. Uh, and I'm loving it, of course. And there have been people who say that you are like God and things like that. It feels so good, and I'm getting a very different kind of experience, I would say. Maybe if I would have been in some dental college where other departments here, actually there is only one department in dentistry, maxillofacial surgery, that's all. And rest we are there are only medicos, like in a medical college we have a gynae department, orthopedics, and then biochemistry, physiology. Similarly, there is one dental department, and which is only maxillofacial functional. So technically there is no dental college here or dental support here. So initially I used to feel like I'm lost somewhere, but now I feel so thankful, or so thankful of being here, that I'm living a medical life, and I am seeing cases. I'm seeing my friends talk to me that this happened in ICU, this happened. I'm learning so much. I would say I feel better that I am in this place and not in some dental college. So there are always pros and cons of every part. Initially, I used to feel bad about being in Patna, but now it's all past. I feel best.
Nice. So you seem to be loving Patna then, because it comes
Thank
with so many of such amazing experiences. All right. Okay. So I think moving on, Vyakhya, mm, what are your indulgences, right? Like as we can see, you're someone who has got a very powerful palette. I mean the other palette of vivid colors of imagination here. And when you're looking at that, I think that's really aspiration for a lot of our students here. So we see that you're a dog lover, right? So that's
you.
evident here. I think that's really beautiful, and things. And these are the pictures of some cases, I think, which we're really getting to see, and the real essence of dentistry and the whole Max Fax world, which makes you more alive than anything else, right? So I think surgery gets you high on this entire perspective here,
Yes.
and you notice that. So you're having an amazing time there. I think we really wish you all the very best in terms of the work experience, and the surgeon in making, and all of that which is to yet to follow. And of course, keep up all the other passions which you're doing. I mean, you are an inspiration of sorts for many of the students who already know you, and the many who discovered you today. So you should be going in that direction and inspiring more souls ahead as well.
Yes.
Okay, so I think if we can take some questions from the audience, if anybody's there, would like to come in touch with us, I think you can just let me open up the house for discussion here. Yeah, okay, I can see here. Anybody who wants to ask Vyakhya anything, please do raise your hand or use the chat box. Let me just give you all access to unmute yourselves so that you can go ahead and, yeah. Okay, Dr. Anita. Yes, Dr. Anita is here. Yeah, good evening, Dr. Anita.
Good
Yes, ma'am.
evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that session, dear Dr. Vyakhya. Vyakhya. I was
Vyakhya.
struggling
Okay.
to pronounce.
Let me
Vyakhya, right?
let me just put
That's
it
okay.
across.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Vyakhya, this is Dr. Anita, and for the rest of the audience, Dr. Anita is the head of Department of Public Health Dentistry at MS
Otherwise,
Ramayan
I'm going to
University.
break.
That's nice to see you, ma'am.
Yeah, no. I should break Denzi here.
Okay.
Denzi, this is Vyakhya's show. So
Hmm.
let it remain that,
Yes,
indeed,
yes.
you took back the memory lane, how it was our preparation, how we have slogged. We being in dental college, I remember going to BMC, Bangalore Medical Library, where we would see these people, with piles of book around them, and they never would get up from there for days together and prepare. So that scene awestruck us, for many years, but that actually inspired us to prepare. And coming to case experiences and the kind of present situation what you're going through, you must feel exclusively blessed, Dr. Vyakhya,
Thank you.
because the appropriateness of your placement in the place where you're supposed to be for the hard work that you have placed, in the amount of efforts that you have put. This is something amazing. So you deserve it. And yes, every bit of it, whatever you told, thoroughly enjoyed it. And for me, key takeaway is, first, number one, you need to put in your efforts no matter what and leave the rest to God. And number two takeaway is, we feel very happy when we hear these, you people are like fresh spring water. We, after certain age, we tend to get stagnated with our thought process. You actually are like a spring water who refresh our memories and thoughts. So that was a second takeaway. And the third takeaway, I wouldn't have met you otherwise if PhD 101 hadn't arranged this.
Thank you,
I
sir.
hope the interns will start logging into these sessions more often, because we are so busy talking to people who have not succeeded, isn't it? अगर आपके घर में मारुति है, मेरे घर में भी. That's the kind of people we are around. And we go back to bed and we dream about Lamborghini and those kind of things. In reality, the kind of experience, there should be sharing from core to core to another person. Probably only then they'll get the taste of it.
True,
uh,
ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Denzi, indeed, for having this platform. I hope a
Thank
lot of interns who have just begun their internship will watch you and will take you as an inspiration, Vyakhya. Wishing you best wishes ahead and God bless you. That is from my
thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
That was really sweet, Anita ma'am. I think coming on board and sharing her thoughts, like she mentioned, that's the whole purpose of this, ma'am. It's to put across stories, success stories of real people in the field of dentistry. I think this is how we can boost our morale and keep it going. So we really hope that this goes out. And I must say, Vyakhya is already doing a lot to reaching out to most of the dental students across the country. Like I said, she's very active on social media, so she does give one-to-one help on undergraduation preparations or entrance preparations or even how to deal with that. Okay, so I have a question from. Okay, I have a chat box question. Okay, ma'am, how did you prepare for your entrance? I think we have Tanishta who has a question. Yes, Danish, I think you can go ahead and ask ma'am, Dr. Vyakhya. Okay. Meanwhile, anybody else would like to say anything, express their thoughts, please do raise your hands, or if you can use the chat box as well, you can do that.
One specific request or a question now to the young lady.
Yes.
Specifically, do you want to give 3 takeaways to the youngsters? As in, this is the mandate. कुछ भी करो आप चाहे, पर ये मत भूलो. Like 3 takeaways for everyone. For those who are preparing for entrance.
For the BDS students, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. So point one would be never miss your classes. I never missed any of my classes, because what you can read, you yourself can read in 4 hours, they teach you in 1 hour, and that stays forever here. They build concepts, and that becomes the base when you read next. So I think you should never miss your class. Second would be decide. It's decision. I get messages from first year, second year BDS students. They ask, ma'am, how to prepare, and I'm like, in first second year, when the person is not even mature of being a person, and is not even decided that actually does he want to do MDS or does he want to flow in the same river, just because BDS के बाद MDS होता है तो इसीलिए करना है या actually करना है. So I always tell them that take time to decide. There are so many of options after BDS. Yes, MDS is one of them. That there is MBA. You can always switch career. You can go abroad and think whatnot. So I think you should get exposed to what options are there, and then you should think, choose, and decide that what you want to take. Once you decide, then you work on that, because I have seen people who have been like internship they whole spent in doing preparation, and then suddenly they realize, no, this is not my cup of tea. Now I would do MBA. Then they start towards that, and then they realize I should go abroad. So you already wasted so many hours. Instead, if you would have taken 6 months deciding and then taking that path, you would have saved your time and your mental energy of so much. It is said, na ma'am, if you want to cut a tree in 1 hour, you should sharpen the X for 45 minutes and then cut it for 15 minutes. So it's like that. Uh, so third would be right guidance in the right path is very important. If you choose how to do PG, and then if you are just not working on it, then it is worthless. I have seen people holding that dental pulse for 2 years, 3 years, and not reading it in the right manner. I would tell them that you do like this or do like that, but they would not listen. They would talk to hundreds of people, hundreds of, I won't say unsuccessful, but uh, not succeeded people, and they would take their opinion के कैसे पढ़ना है, आपका क्यों नहीं हुआ. So this is all wasting your time. If you talk to 100 people, 100 people will give different opinion. So just choose one person and follow them blindly. Have been people who have joined 3 to 4 coaching. I don't know how they manage, because इसमें तो दूसरा subject चल रहा है, वहाँ कुछ और चल रहा है. This person will say to read it from this book. This person will say to read it from that. Everything is not possible. I always say just hold one hand and just blindly follow that. So these are the 3 things, not only in our field but generally also can be applicable.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Any more questions, guys? Yeah, we're getting the questions in the chat box. Shruti is asking Vyakhya that how to plan your schedule while preparing for NEET while in internship.
Okay. That is a very vast topic of like 3 to 4 hours. I would not even 3 to 4 hours. But on my page there is one IGTV video, which is I think 1 hour or something. I would suggest you to watch that. I feel you will get many answers from there, because the answer is not straight. Okay, 2 घंटा ये पढ़ो, 3 घंटा ये पढ़ो. This is not the way that someone gives you the schedule and you blindly follow it. Every person is different. Every individual is different. I might take 5 minutes to read something, some other person might take 2 hours. So it is a very individualized thing, preparation. But there are some general rules which should be followed. I think if you watch that video, it would be very helpful to you. At rest you can always ask me in DM or email.
I think let me just share that. I think this is the video you are
Yes.
addressing to, no? So you can find this video, Shruti, on Vyakhya's IG page, right? It's about an hour. So she discusses what are the options if you're going for all MDS and recording. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Srinivas has a question. Yes, doctor.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello. Hi, Srinivas.
I'm a final year student actually. So,
Okay.
as today is mental health day, I want to actually my exams are starting just 1 month. I mean, 25 to 26 days are there for final exams. So, I want to ask how, like, sometimes we should, very much stress is there for final year students, 8 subjects are there. So, how to cope up with that stress while preparing for the exams, especially when like less than 1 month away.
Are you in home or are you at hostel?
Yeah, I'm in home.
Okay, so you already know who's the stress buster.
Yeah, actually, sometimes we can like stress will be at most high sometimes at in some days at we can't read anything in home like
It's okay.
at
There
the
are phases. There are phases. There are days which, when you don't read anything, the whole day goes in vain. But it's okay for everyone. There are certain days which you, when you don't read anything, when you mess up, when you get jumbled up in your mind. So it's okay. You should always take breaks and you should switch subjects. I would say for final year, keep switching subjects. Make a schedule like. First half of the day you read some other subject, and the day part of the day when you are bored or you're sleepy, you should read a subject of your interest. And for public health, I would say give 1 hour every day, because making it together in one go is not possible. This is what I have to do.
yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Very from Srinivas, which college?
Yeah, I'm from Andhra Pradesh, Karnool. The name of the college is Pullareddy Dental College.
Okay. You're from Polarity Institute, itself. Okay,
Yeah.
so your exams are coming in a month. Yeah, like Vyakhya mentioned, I think take a balance, man. It's like you need to consume a little bit of every subject, 2, 3 subjects, and balance it out and do that, because you're a month away from exams, right? So most of them are enduring the same amount of stress. So balance it out, ease it out, and of course, don't work yourself too much up, and read your concepts very well, because in final BDS, it's not about memory recall. It's about how much you've understood and processed the information. Because entrance is an altogether different game, that will come
Yeah.
later. While in undergraduation, I think prepare your knowledge base very clearly, because you are expected to write main questions, short essays, right? So until you've
Yeah.
understood the concepts, you will not be able to go in detail and take it apart. Thank you, Srinivas. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Vyakhya. We have a question from Dr. Sunanda. Wants to know what's your plan after MDS.
uh, to be frank, there is no plan for now. I have kept my options open. I have time to decide. As I said, I'm working on the X. When it is the time to hit, I will hit.
Okay, fine. So I think if there are any more questions, please do let us know. You can always write to us. We shall be happy to give you, much information on that. I'll be putting across our email ID there in the chat box for all of you. So I think we'll just put it across to Vyakhya if in case you need any specific assistance, because there are a lot of students here, who are looking for preparation in undergraduation and also entrance exams, and even during PGs and all of that. So you can write to us at publichealthdentistry101@gmail.com, and we'd be really happy to help you and give you information on that. And any other questions, guys? I think before we go on and wrap up the session for today, I think I've been cruel and taken away Vyakhya Sunday evening, for she's got to get back for work and duties. But thank you so much, Vyakhya, for doing this. I think
Thank you, sir.
you are an amazing inspiration to our dental students, and really hope that people reach out and get inspired and motivated. And that's I told you, this was the whole point of this session, and having it for our students, especially at PhD 101. We have a lot of students, a mixed back from different colleges. So they do get in and make all this possible. And a big shout out to Vyakhya's family and friends, who are the real persons, of the constant pillar of support, which has made her what she is, and that is what grooms her and has made her decide all these things in detail. So thank you so much. I think you can show us all your love in the chat box. We have Sakita thanking you and Yogita. Yes, you're an inspiration. So yeah, you can show all the love there. I think we'll just wait for a couple of minutes. Any other questions? Also, like I said, I've put in the link to our email ID, so you can write to us and we can get back to you on this. Okay, Vyakhya. So I think I have some questions from my side. If you're ready for your Viva now.
Sure.
Okay. So what are you binge watching these days on Netflix or Prime or whatever? What are you feeding on?
I see this Young Sheldon,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
then Big Bang Theory, then
Big Bang.
Bandish Bandit. Then I also see this Mahadev on Hotstar. It's a very long, like I think there are 40-30 seasons. It is a never ending thing. I like watching that. So these are the things. It's just YouTube songs are always there.
Acha, okay. So how much of singing are you doing there? OT के अंदर, OPD में,
As वो तो
mask के
सर पेशेंट
पीछे.
करते करते it keeps on happening.
हाँ, क्योंकि वो कॉलेज के दिन वो UG के टाइम के सिंगिंग इंडियन आइडल वाले ऑडिशंस, I think, right? You're looking at that.
Bathroom singing, sir.
Yes. All right. Okay. Vyakhya, if you can just see any of your family members are there joined in, I can ask them to say a few words. If you could just have a look at this thing. Anyone is there? Otherwise, a big shout out to everyone, family and friends for Vyakhya for being the reason of who she is today. So I think that's about time. I think we can wrap up the session for today. Thank you so much, Vyakhya, for doing this. And as the saying goes, right? Learning is the true essence of life, and this is what Vyakhya started off the session with. And this is when I had the first call with her, and after having discovered such a person, I was like, this story needs to be told. And instantly, I mean, she was really kind to have work together and share integral moments of our life, and agree to do this on this platform, which in turn turns out to be a real good motivation session for our students. For the people who missed the session, please do check out our YouTube channel. It's always going to be there, so you can look up and take in your amount of inspiration as it goes. Thank you so much, Vyakhya, for doing this. I think thank you all dear participants also for joining in and patiently listening to it. So like they say, in the pursuit of happiness and success, you've got to imagine, believe, and that's when you achieve the real goal in life. So all of you, please stay safe, and stay motivated. It's in these testing times the best comes out in all of you. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon at the next session of Rendezvous. We will be having a regular sessions on Wednesdays, and we shall be back with another person, another story, another experience to have a memorable time. Thank you so much for joining in. See you, everybody. Bye-bye, goodbye, and good night. Thank you.
Good night, sir.